Hey fellas, today I'm going to be talking about The Night of the Living Dead, released in 1968, as well as its cultural impact. Night is by far the most influential zombie movie ever created. It, by all intents and purposes, created the modern day zombie. Before Night, most zombies were depicted as mind-controlled henchmen rather than flesh-eating ghouls. But when it released, massive hordes of undead, unstoppable killing machines became the standard for a zombie movie. When Night came out, it was heavily criticized for its use of gore. While it's not as gory as a modern horror movie, back then it was pretty brutal. The film depicted the zombies eating organs and human meat right off the bone, which was probably some of the most graphic effects in horror movies at that time. This movie pushed so many boundaries that it was actually one of the deciding factors in the creation of the MPAA. However, that was not the only criticism of the film, because one of the largest controversies had to deal with Ben, the main character. While Ben was originally meant to be white, they cast actor Dwayne L. Jones. George Romero did not alter the script to reflect this change, leading to a black actor being in the leading role. This was seen as extremely taboo in '68, but that was not the only problem. While Dwayne played the role exactly as it was written, many people felt that the character was made to reflect the ongoing civil rights movement. Throughout the film, Ben is seen as being an intelligent and resourceful and generally good leader, but another character, Harry, a white man, constantly argues with him, consistently questioning his authority. Many people assume this was supposed to be a mirror to how black men were often discriminated against. That, as well as the ending of the movie having Ben getting shot while being mistaken as a zombie, led to a lot of people believing that this movie was meant to be a social commentary. Now, this was a complete accident on George Romero's part, but he has gone on to accept that it's part of the movie now, whether he likes it or not. The impact that Night of the Living Dead had on horror media is enormous, inspiring several sequels of its own while also inventing its own entire genre of zombie film. The idea of a zombie apocalypse became mainstream with the release of Night. It also showed that horror movies could be more than just gore and jump scares, rather being a way to explore more psychological and societal issues. The film also showed what amazing things could be done with a small budget. The film only had a budget of $114,000, which isn't exactly a lot of money. One of the reasons the film was in black and white is because they couldn't afford a more expensive colored camera. The Night of the Living Dead was truly a revolutionary movie of its time, and many horror films can draw their inspiration from it. Some of those movies you've probably heard of, like Shaun of the Dead, released in 2004, 28 Days Later, released in 2002, and The Walking Dead, which originally came out in 2010 and ended in 2022, but the series as a whole is still continuing. These films/TV shows are still widely regarded as some of the best zombie media to this day, and they all have their roots in George Romero's Night of the Living Dead. The effect this film has had on the zombie genre is immeasurable. The entire concept of a society overrun with zombies originates with this film. One film that predates Night is White Zombie, released in 1932. Its depiction of zombies originated in voodoo magic and takes heavy inspiration from Haitian folklore. These zombies were depicted as mindless, slow-moving, obedient servants with no independence of their own. They were controlled using voodoo potions and spells, reanimating the dead and using them for manual labor and as bodyguards. Another way zombies were depicted was in the movie King of the Zombies, but rather than being depicted as resurrected servants, they were simply mind-controlled humans through the use of voodoo rituals and hypnosis. The difference between these zombies and George Romero's zombies were so stark that Romero originally thought he had created a whole new monster. Rather than being a product of voodoo magic like previous films, it was actually a probe that had traveled to Venus and back that created the zombies in Romero's movies. The probe carried with it a special kind of radiation that resurrected the dead. No voodoo magic in sight. Another significant difference between pre-Night and post-Night zombies were their use of tools. Romero's zombies were smart and fast, with the opening scene depicting a zombie using a brick to smash in a car door. The use of tools is a clear sign of intelligence. I could probably talk all day about the innovations Romero made to zombies, but I only have 5 minutes and I need to hurry up and edit this video, so I'm gonna end it here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.